Hello YouTube and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be playing some more car mechanic simulator. So there's a couple of things we have to do. We've got to sort out this little orange car. It says, a year and a half ago I bought this car for my son. He said he's not interested in anything except driving it and occasionally filling it up at the gas station. Please check the oil and the tyres. Now, the reason why I'm playing this is, one, it's just generally a good game. Secondly, I kind of got it, so, you know, and thirdly, because I did mechanics at college for 2 years, actually, so, you know, I just thought I'd like to see how this would compare to what I learned. So what we're going to have to get one air filter, and if it's a bit bright then I apologise because I can't find the brightness settings in this game. In fact, I couldn't find them. I don't even know if it has them. We're also going to need a fuel filter, and we're going to need 4 tyres. I believe they were standard tyre B. I think they were the right tyres. Anyways, let's just let's get the fuel filter out. Let's get the filters out first, because they're under the bonnet, so we don't have to move anything. We don't have to move the car to the ramps as yet. So there we go. There's that. Now we have to get those 4 clips off the cover. Obviously, otherwise we can't get the cover off, because this is where the air filter sits, obviously, as you can probably see by the words. But take out the air filter, we'll go to part mount mode, put in our brand new one, then we'll put our cover on top, and now we need to add the clips back on, so then that way it doesn't come loose. The clips on the game, the clips can be quite tedious because you have to really line the camera and the cursor up, so then, wow, I'm even recording at this time at night and you still get the racing car. You viewers are clearly privileged, because these people who have these cars are fucking dedicated, I'll say that. Yeah, but as I was saying, the clips you have to be really careful with, because you really have to line them up to then actually get them off in the game. You have to line the cursor up. Now we've got to take off the wheels. Straight away, this is something that I learned different at college, because at college, to actually get these bolts off the wheels, first of all, you have to use the sort of X-shaped bar. Like, I think it's called a tire breaker or something. I can't remember. It's kind of like a little cross-shaped thing, and it has 4 different sizes on each end. And basically, you have to use that to get the tires, to get the bolts on the wheels loose, and you have to have the car on the floor to do that. It appears on this game you don't have that, so I mean, I guess it makes it easier, but at the same time it's, you know, I mean, it's just a little thing, but oh well. So now we've got the wheels off, we go over to our tyre machine, our tyre changer. What we have to do, we have to separate the wheel from the tyre, so that will go around. Then we obviously have to take that, and then we'll do the same again for the other wheels and tyres. Like, this is like, well, this is a bit of a waiting task really, but It has to be done. I mean, again, in real life there'd be like a little bar and we have to use all these pedals. Like, it would obviously be a lot more difficult in real life to do, unless if you had an automatic one, which would, I'd imagine, would be costly. But now that we've done that, we have to then put all the new tyres back on the rim. So how do you do that? Use the tyre changer, you go on the install section, you choose the wheel, choose the tyre, and then it will just reverse it. Magic. Yeah, no, but then we can take this tyre, we can put that on the wheel balancer, which has to be done, otherwise it won't accept it as the task completed, and you also kind of have to do that in real life as well. This guy's taking a little while to go around. Like, I know they take a little bit of time to go around, but that one's taking quite some time to go around. You know, maybe finding the right weight for the wheel, I don't know. But that's basically what the wheel balancer does. It finds the weight for the wheel. And then, because obviously alloy wheels are very different from steel wheels. With the alloy wheels, you got the little stick-on weights behind the rim itself, whereas on the steel wheels you got the little metal ones you just hammer on. Like, not like, you don't like full on hammer it, you just tap it on until it sits in. So I mean, either way you still have to use a wheel balancer, whether it's the steel one or not. See, these are the weights I was talking about. These ones here, these belong to the alloy wheels, whereas the ones in the box here, they belong to steel wheels. So there's a fun little fact for you today. You know, the different wheel types have different weights. Don't go asking me about wire rims, because I do not know about that at all. So unfortunately, I never got the chance to work on wire rims at college, but I wasn't expecting them to turn up with a 1960s Impala, for example, but, you know, just putting the wheel back on the car, it doesn't matter what way they go on the game. Obviously in real life it does, because you've got to follow direction of rotation. And to spot that, again, for those who don't know, there's a little arrow on the sidewall of the tyres, and you have to put the wheel in the direction that arrow is pointing. You can't put it backwards, otherwise your tyre wear would be all messed up, it'd be completely wrong, and well, that's basically it. So in real life it's important to follow the direction of rotation with tyres, because like I said, if you get one wrong, then you might easily got like all of them wrong. So what do we have to do here? We have to change the oil. So now we have to lift the car up even higher, and we get this little tool, the oil drain. Move it under the lift, and for those who don't know, the oil would come out of the car, and then it would go into the pan, which would then send down this tube, which will go into the big oil drum here at the bottom. So we're going to let the car urinate. It's done that. Just a quick little tinkle. And then we're going to bring the car back down and then refill the engine with oil. Now we don't have to bring it all the way back down, because we can reach the engine from here. So we just remove this, fill it with oil. You don't want to overfill it, because that would cause problems. So you want to go to about now. A little bit more. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, job done. There we go. We got 2,000 just for that. Did we get anything in the inventory? Well, let's sell all this, because it's not going to go on any car. It can't. It just can't. So we've got one job here. Is that that's an Audi A3. Poor braking performance. Well, let's take it. It's a blue Audi A3, ladies and gents. And it's got poor braking performance, so I wonder what the problem could be. I mean, I did 2 years of motor vehicles and the majority of it was brakes, so... Caliper, disc and ABS pump. Right, I'm going to take a quick look around. That caliper and disc is okay. That disc is not okay. That caliper is not okay, and that one's okay. So, to get to the pump, we have to take off the module. And to take off the module, we have to take off these 6 little screws. It's important to do them diagonally. Like, I can't choose that in the game. But in reality, doing it diagonally would be best because that way the part can't like fall into the engine or onto the floor. So what do we have to get? We have to get a... it was a... what was it? It was a pump, wasn't it? Or was it a module? I have to take a quick check. So that's another marathon run back to the car. There's a pump. So there's a pump, a disc, and a caliper. So there's our pump, $950 per... dollars. $950. There's the caliper, and there's the disc. Now, before we get this car over onto the lift, we might as well... put these parts under the bonnet back in because it's just easier. So now we put in the module. Again, gotta put in those 6 little screws. Those 6 little screws are important. Okay, now we can move the car over to the car lifter. So the caliper is this one and the disc is on the other side of the car. I believe they're both on the rear. Yeah, they're on the rear. So we only have to take off the back wheels on this A3. I did also buy 2 DLC packs because you could probably see I'm playing on the PlayStation. So, I mean, I bought the Ford DLC pack and the Bentley DLC pack. So... yeah, if you see some Fords with their actual names and some Bentleys, then that's the DLC pack. Of course, there are more, but I could only afford 2 at the time. What have I done? Part mount mode. That's what we need. Put on this virtually new caliper, because we don't want to put our brand new one on, do we? Because that's for the other side. There's the wheel. Now we just got to do this wheel. This brake, I'll say. Luckily we don't have to go so far into it, because the caliper is the first thing we have to take off. So we just undo these 2 little screws. The caliper cylinder's at 100%. Gee, this man knows how to take care of his cylinders, but he can't take care of the caliper itself. Anyway, there's a brand new caliper, there's the wheel, and this will be job done. Like sometimes, for those who haven't played this, sometimes you get you get crates which have barn find maps inside of them. So, you know, it will come up in the top, it would say, like, in your inventory, it would say, a crate has appeared in your inventory. Something along those lines. But we've got 2 jobs, so we could take another Audi, or we could take this, which kind of looks like a Toyota. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It could be anything, but... that thing's got mega miles on it. Nah, fuck it, let's take it. It's got brake problems. But this thing's got mega miles on it though. So maybe a brand new car might be in question here. I mean, look at that rust. So we need 3 sets of pad and a ventilated disc. Okay. I've just run into my own building pillar. So we need pads, 3, and a ventilated disc. Now the ventilated disc is going to be at the front, and I can already see where the issue is. It's there. Just having a little look around to see what pads are. I honestly would much rather just say, look, dude, get a new car. I mean, that's what I would do. But hey, if this guy wants to keep this car that's got 125,000 miles in it, then let him. But personally, I would just get rid of this car. In general, I would just get rid of it. Like if you sold this car as it is, it's probably not worth anything. So take off the pad, take off the ventilated disc. Put on our new one, put on our new pads as well, put on the caliper and put the wheel back on. Like honestly, is it even worth putting new parts on a car that like, in all honesty, wouldn't even be allowed on the road? Like, okay, it might be, but just, would anyone respect you if you had that much rust on your car? No, I think they'd give you the directions to the nearest scrapyard, I think. I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, I keep on saying it, but that's honestly the best thing for this car. Like, I don't know if this is the one that, like, in the... Actually, they're in pretty good nick. No, they're not. I thought they were. Well, I'm stupid and I can't see. Forget everything that I said about doing motor vehicles if I can't tell what a good brake pad looks like. Mind you, I never had to deal with a rusty car that's been probably sat in someone's shed for 20 years. Well, actually, there was this MG that was covered in moss, so, like, the inside of it had moss, so, you know. I think I was just about to steal the man's rear window there, but... But seriously, why has he not asked me to take out that disc? That disc is in a shocking state. I've just taken it off, haven't I? Like, sir. I'm just gonna tell you now. There's a lot more problems on this car than you told me that there were. Okay, so the rear right was absolutely fine. So that means it's the front right that's got the other worn pads. Mind you, can you really tell? Like, honestly, can you really tell? Because I couldn't tell. Honestly, this dude is driving this dude or woman, like, I don't know, it doesn't tell you the people here don't have names. They just say, look, here's the car, you do this. So, whoever it is who owns this car, whether it be a Jeff, an Emma, a Claire, a Frank, a Steve, or whatever, you're driving a death trap. But, at the end of the day, it's your death trap, so I'm just going to give it back to you. Ah, we have a case now. First, let's sell these, make ourselves a total of $14 from selling that, but let's see what we get in this crate. Looks like an exhaust of some kind. We've got a caliper, an air filter 14B, and a front exhaust section for a turbo-powered car. Not bad at all, I must say. So we've got another one of those cars. And we've got this. I read in the newspaper that the timing component should be replaced more frequently than recommended by the manufacturer. The same goes for the oil. Please check both of those things and replace whatever you decide is needed. Yeah, let's take your car. It can't be as bad as what I just saw. Like, seriously, it can't be as bad as what I just... Good, it's clean. I was going to say, it can't be as bad as what I just saw. So that's the timing gear, and we've got to change the oil. Ah, there's a problem straight away. All of your ignition coils are gone. All of the gearing looks fine, but that's going to have to come off anyway, so take off the engine head cover. But yeah, all that gearing's going to have to come off anyways, so... Ah. Our camshafts don't look too healthy, do they? No, they don't. Those cams have seen better days. But that's the fun of this. Like, you know, you never get the same... Well, you can. But with some of these, like, story progression missions, you never get the same thing twice, really. So we've got to take off our belt tensioner, which is important, otherwise our belts won't work. So we've got to take off the belts now. Remove the water pump, which again is important. We're going to take off our idle roller. And we've got one little thing to take off now, which is not a wheel. It's a crankshaft pulley. Now we take off the timing cover. 4 little screws, that's all it is. And we can see here that if we take off our timing belt, our cam gears don't look pretty either. Wait a minute. This guy's got a turbo. Mate, I want a turbo. Just give me that turbo. I like my turbo-powered cars, that's all I'll say. So we've found our problems. We need 2 cam gears, 2 cam shafts, and 4 ignition coils. So, let's go ahead and double check that real quick before we go and buy it. Yeah, camshaft, cam gear, and 4 ignition coils. Right. Marathon sprint to the computer. So it's going to be 2 cam gears, which are right there. Then we need 2 cam shafts, and we need 4 ignition coils. 4, count it, 4. There they are. A very healthy $240 just spent on ignition coils alone. Can I just take your engine out, sir? Like, please. It's for my kid. Which I don't have. We're just narrating stuff as we go along, which doesn't even exist. Put in our cam gears. Put in our engine head cover. 8 bolts there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we've got to put in our spark plugs. You've really got to line your cursor up. That's probably the sensitivity. I might have to adjust that. Like, if you guys want to see more of this, and then I'll be more than welcome to, and then I can come back and adjust the sensitivity a little bit, because our cursor is going a bit over the place at the moment, but, you know, all things on their own. That's all the ignition stuff, all of the worn stuff. Now we just have to put everything else back together. So we put on our timing cover, which I can't see. There we go. And now we just got to put on our couple of bolts to go, couple of belts, and then we got to do the oil in the car, and then that'd be another job done. Ladies and gents, that's what an air filter looks like. That big yellow thing you just saw, that's what an air filter looks like. Now we got to put on our tensioner, which is just 1 bolt. Right, so that's all done. Now we just need to change the oil of the car. So we're going to move this over to the car lifter because we have to get under it. It's just the same. It's kind of slow. It obviously would be, but you have to press it twice to lift it all the way up. Like, you know, bit annoying, but let the car do its private business, having a little wee there. Then we bring it back down. And what car even is this anyway? Like, if I were to guess, it kind of looks like a Maserati Quattroporte if I had to guess. But I don't actually know. Anyways, we're filling it back up with, you know, super oil, premium motor oil, you know. There we go, and now we can give the car back to the person and say, thank you for your money. we won't really say that, will we? Between you and me, I would though. I don't give a damn we're working on the Bentley T-Series. Like, I just want to look at it. Before working on it, I just want to look at it. Change my mind, I don't want to look at it. Ah, no. We can't cheat, it's got the wheel trims on. We can't cheat to see what the problem is. I'm sorry, obviously I can't feel it, but I just want to sit down in it. Look at this. What's this? Red leather interior, like, dude, and wood. Red leather and wood interior. Not a bad car. There's only one thing wrong with this car. It's an automatic. That's the only problem with this car. But other than that, it looks fine, and I have to see what the problems are, don't I? Ventilated disc, pads, disc and disc. Mate, this thing's got a V8. Honestly, no, but honestly though, I thought that would have had drums. Like, that car is old, I thought it would have had drums on the back, but apparently not. So what was it? It was ventilated disc, 2 regular discs, and it was pads, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was pads, but anywho, let's get this thing. Yeah, it was pads. Let's get this thing on the ramp. Like, I'm happy enough to work on this on a game, but imagine working on one of these in real life. Like hopefully it doesn't have all this rust, but imagine that though. Like, I'm just gonna have to go for it and take all the wheels off. That wheel hub is so small. Take off our caliper. Well, I might have to take all the wheels off. I mean, I think I've just found one big problem here. Let's take all the wheels off just to be sure. Obviously the ventilated discs are always going to be at the front, like I said, so we always know that the regular discs were going to be at the back, but you just got to have that eye for where the pads could be. Because the ones on that other wheel said 41, but they might not be the issue. The issue might be on a different wheel. So, personally, I'd have changed both ventilated discs, but, you know. Anywho, so let's get this caliper off. Yeah, see, these are on 49, so they're not in too bad condition. So we're just going to work our way around the car. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to work our way around the car and then hopefully bump into the source of the pads problem, which to me it might be this one. It's not. Okay, I'm wrong. So it was a good thing that we went all the way around the car, because now we know where the problem is. It's the front lefts. Yeah, there's nothing on them. Like, there's nothing left of these pads. Well, I've taken it off, so I'm just going to get him another one. Like, honestly. I just accidentally took it off, but I'm just going to get him another one. A car like this, you have to treat it well. Like, you can't just say, oh, there's one disc rusting, but, you know, let's just leave the... There's two discs rusting, but let's just change one. You can't be like that. With a car like this, it's just like, either get it done properly or don't do it at all, you know? I do wonder though if he'd pay a little extra for that, because I changed the part that he didn't ask, that the person didn't ask for, but, you know. So yeah, that always shows that it's right to take your time and go around the car when you're working on it. Because like I said, you'd never know. See, I didn't know where the pad problem would be until I went to the front left, and before that I'd already decided to go all the way around the car. So, you know, like I just said, sometimes it's best to take your time with things rather than just rushing in and assuming everything's going to be in one place, because not always it is. When did this become a motivational talk? I'm fixing a Bentley here. Well, actually, that's pretty cool in itself. Well, I'm not physically fixing one. Virtual me is fixing a virtual Bentley, which I'm jealous of virtual me about. But yeah, no. I do wonder though, actually, if I get an extra bit of money for that. For an extra disc. Cool, all done. Item added case. Let's have a look what we've got. How have I ended up with an extra caliper? I don't know how, but I've ended up with an extra caliper. Let's sell all these. Now let's open this case. What do we get? We got some kind of filter again, an engine head, and a turbo. Nice. See, we're getting useful parts, especially if we bought like a car from the junkyard or something. Orders, what do we have here? We got another T-Series, which we could do. Let's do this. Little baby car. It's a little baby car, let's do it. Right, this one had filter problems, so it's air, oil, fuel. Easy peasy, mate. Like, if I knew where your fuel filter was, is that it? It is, it's down there. They couldn't put it in a more difficult spot, could they? Like, so there's your fuel filter. Obviously your air filter's going to be under here. If it wasn't, I'd be a bit concerned. Unless if it was an interior air filter, then that's fair enough, but like if the air filter wasn't even in the car, that would be a concern to start with, but Yeah, so we'll take that out, take out the air filter, go and get the new ones, so we just have to type in filter in the search, but we have to filter for filter. How ironic. And why did I take the last letter off a filter for? Like, what am I? Some kind of plum? That's probably offensive to plums. Right, so now we're going to put those two under bonnet filters in, then we're going to move the car to then put the under the car filter in, which is obviously the oil filter. Because as we can see here, that the air and the fuel filter is always in the engine, not underneath it. Like, this is like a subpar easy job, so I'm probably not going to get much for it, but it should be a handful. I think this car is a Hyundai. It looks like the looks like an i10, like sort of. Like that's the front of it looks like an i10, but the back of it looks like a Peugeot 107. So it could be anything, or it could even be both of them put together. Anyways, but I think I might call this one. We've been going we'll call it after this little green car. I mean, we've been going for about 40 minutes, so you know, I might call it after this one, but you know, if you guys enjoyed it, then like I said, I'll be happy to do more. But let's lower this car down. And let's give it back to whomever gave it to me. That's come from New Jersey. Like, I don't know, like, New Jersey, obviously, because I'm not American. Yeah, look at that. We're going to get $98 for changing the filters. That's actually a bargain, to be fair. But for that person, it's a bargain, but it's not a bargain for me. I didn't earn anything, really. But, anyways, I think I'm going to call it there. But, if you did enjoy me playing some Car Mechanic Simulator, then, don't forget to open the door, heed the call, and hit the subscribe button to see more. It's been a while since I've said that, but I'm going to start bringing it back. But yeah, don't forget to open the door, heed the call, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And don't forget to like and comment if you enjoyed it, because then I could do more. And also, don't forget to share it with your friends as well, because, you know, because that way we can all grow together, the channel can get bigger, and I can have more time to do what you guys want me to do within reason with the resources and materials that I have. So, yeah, if you want to subscribe, then like I said, go ahead. But don't forget to share it with your friends as well, in case they're interested in subscribing. So, until then, I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.